Barrett Brownie, towering figure. And she falls in love with who? Somebody tell me.
Robert Browning.
Absolutely. Who was Robert Browning? One of the greatest poets of the 19th century. Writes Men and Women while she's writing Aurora and Leigh. Ooh, isn't it wonderful to have a soulmate who can keep you accountable as opposed to just an appendage of your ego and identity? I want to say that again for Dartmouth students. Ooh, when you fall in love, isn't it rich and deep that you won't have sycophants telling you how wonderful you are, but rather have another human being who desires you in all of your dimensions and facets and aspects and keeps you fresh so you can grow and mature and develop. So it was between Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett Browning, and her father pushes her out of the family, disinherits her, and they move off to Italy. And what does she do? She becomes a crusader against child labor, a crusader against imperialism of Italy, a crusader in the name of women's rights, and so forth and so on. Du Bois's choices here are very important in terms of getting at the white world, getting at what we'll be talking about, those white fears and insecurities and anxieties that make it so very difficult to stay in contact with the humanity of peoples of color, especially black peoples, and it's tied to the white power and white privilege and white benefits that flow from systems. But Du Bois begins again with the artist. Very important, because it's nearly impossible to talk about the white world, the black world, the different sides of the veil without beginning with the raw stuff that art is about. We've seen this, the question of what it means to be human. And then the spiritual, I'm a-rolling. I'm a-rolling. Now, why is that important? Because Du Bois understands from this particular spiritual, where the major question is a call for help. Are you willing to roll with me in creating a better world? Interracial solidarity at the center. And of course, William James, in his famous Gifford Lectures, made it so very clear when he said the very core of religion is the call for help. The call for help. The sense of existential helplessness and impotence. The need for something beyond your own ego. And that's Psalm 123 in Hebrew scripture and all of its genius. I lift mine eyes into the hills from which cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord. A particular response to that question, the call for help. And the call itself may be just music. The response is music. The call itself may be simply arts. It may be a friend. Maybe a mother or a father. But it's some call for help to get us outside of our egocentric predicament. And what Du Bois is trying to convey, it seems to me, is any serious talk about trying to understand the complex dynamics of the white world and they stay in contact with our humanity at the same time, right, is to enact the kind of courageous witness and poetic quest for beauty and truth that Elizabeth Barrett Browning was about. And then the Negro spiritual. Are you willing to roll with me? In fact, we could actually just turn on the Isley Brothers' Caravan of Love. Y'all know that song? You ever heard of Caravan of Love? We ought to just play that thing. Ooh, you got your computer?
Sure.
You got your computer? Let's just play a little Isley Brothers here before we get into the dynamics, the ugly dynamics of white supremacy and all of its mess. Now, the thing is, the Isley Brothers, the
Caravan of Love.
Caravan of Love is the name of it. But would people be able to hear it in the back?
No. Who knows? Oh.
Well, turn it on and see. Turn it on and see.
If you turn on the microphone, maybe like people will hear.
Oh, yeah. And where do you put it? Can you hear it? Okay, here it is. Just listen to it. These Isaac brothers from Cincinnati, Ohio. They live in Teaneck, New Jersey. You got it as high as you can?
Yeah.
I'll sing it if you want. No, I'm kidding. But just get a sense, see. This is the version of I'm Rolling, International Solidarity. Ready for the time of your life. Stand up. All right. To the motherland. I see my sister from North Carolina knows it. Oh, Fayetteville's in the house. But keep in mind now, solidarity, interracial solidarity, intersectional solidarity, human solidarity, but you gotta pay a cost. Together. All the children. There's a better way. The voice is smiling from the grave for the Isaac brothers singing this song. Can you hear it in the back?
I think you rewinded.
I just want to get to that section where he calls for help. He's calling for help. Is that the end of it all? Okay, here it comes, here it comes. Then we're going to shift right back now. I'm your brother.
Oh, you keep, okay.
Oh, Lord.
It's right here, I got you.
I'm your brother.
Wait, hold on. Watch your hand. Just keep
I'm going to put
flying.
it back. I'm your brother, he said. Your sister. I'm your brother, don't you know? Then he goes up. I'm your brother. I'm your brother, don't you know? Okay, that's the call. That's the call. Thank you so much, Monique. This is Monique. Thank you so much, Monique. That's the call. So the serious discussion of white supremacy is always connected to acknowledging not just humanity, but the call for help. And what does that do? It deflates arrogance. It deflates hubris. It deflates condescension. And it provides a possibility for humility and generosity and acknowledging not just that you might be wrong, but you may have to give up some significant benefits.
Can I see your money?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot, though, brother. I heard you singing in the back. We had a nice little thing going. No, indeed. No, I'm just kidding. Now, in this particular essay, given the elitism, what does he call for? The best of the white side of town, the best of the black side of town, the highly educated. Okay, we understand that. He's been calling for that over and over again. That is a version of Pi Day up in its elitist form. But what we see when we move to the souls of white folk, we're going to save a good time because we want some wonderful dialogue with our fellow human beings in this class for that. My God, my God, my God. And this page, what page is the, it's 9. 9:20. Yes. 9. Souls of black.
I have 3.
High in the tower where I sit above the loud complaining of the human sea, I know many souls that toss and whirl and pass, but none there are that intrigue me more than the souls of white folk. And of course, he's known for being the author of the souls of black folk. But you can't engage in an inquiry about the souls of black folk without also connecting his analysis with the souls of white folk. Very few people get a chance to read this essay. A very different Du Bois than what you get in 1903. Of these, I am singularly clairvoyant. Ooh, that's a strong claim. Almost one of certitude.
Positive ID on multiple strongholds. Located
I see in and through them. Very interesting. Reminds me of James Baldwin formulation. 1960, James Baldwin says, most white brothers and sisters really don't have to pay that much attention to black folk other than exotic objects or their entertainers on TV in the form of athletics and singing. You don't have to dig deep into the lower frequencies of their humanity. But for black people to exist, to survive, to make it, they better understand white brothers and sisters and all of their individuality and their collectivity.
Oh, yeah.
Conversations in beauty salons and barbershops about the souls of white folk. You hear some stories. Those white sisters been raising the white youth generation after generation. That's serious business, isn't it? You can suckle the white baby on your breast. But you can't sit in front of the gym. You can't go down to the department store and put the clothes on your body. But somehow at that deep level of nurturing and caring, bring in Sister Johnson. She's so loving, like Delsey in the great novel of William Faulkner. Faulkner probably the second or third greatest American novelist after Melville, and alongside Toni Morrison and Henry James. Maybe you'll saw Bellow on a good day.
Oh, backpack is full. Fuck.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, I have 4. I can't carry another one.
I'm just playing with you. You know I'm playing with you now. He's one of the great editors from Mademoiselle, and we mentioned before, who was responsible for bringing James Baldwin in. But the point is, I view them from unusual points of vantage point. Not as a foreign do I come, for I am native, not foreign. I'm bone of their thought and flesh of their language. That's the reformulation of the first part of Souls of Black Folk. Bone and flesh of black people. But Du Bois, Great Barrington, Vanilla Site, Massachusetts, Harvard, Berlin, the highest echelons of the American Academy.
Enemy just
Not in terms of
drove
teaching,
there.
but in terms of organization and profession. He says, I'm bone of their thought. And of course, what Du Bois is saying is, I actually know more about the legacies of Athens, the legacies of Jerusalem, the legacies of Berlin and Rome and New York than most white folk in America at the time, given the level of education that I have, he said. But mine is not that, the knowledge of the traveler or the colonial composite of dear memories' words. Nor yet is my knowledge that which servants have of masters, of mass, of class, or capitalists, of artisan. I see these souls undressed, and from the back and side, I see the working of their intros. I know their thoughts, and they know that I know. Ooh. Well, you, the boy's gonna get in trouble here. Ooh, I was like the spook who sat next to the door in the 1960s. Eavesdropping in. I know what you're talking about in there. You're a little different when the door opens. You shut that door. Or it's like going to some of the country clubs among the brothers and you hear all that patriarchal banter. And they come out saying, oh, of course, I believe women are equal. Of course, indeed, I want to make sure my daughter goes to Dartmouth too, but I'll get inside. Trump's not the only one talking that mess. No. And I'm including myself on a bad day. I'm not encouraged, I don't encourage it, but I kind of listen in to brothers and say, y'all shouldn't be saying that, but okay, I'm still listening. That's patriarchal banter. It's real, it's just a peak of an iceberg. So it is with white supremacist banter. It's very real, but the peak of a structural and institutional practice as it relates to black and brown folk.
Hey, Thug, can you
I
get
know
the
that
gas can?
this knowledge makes
My mic
them
is
now embarrassed, now furious. They deny my right to live and be and call me misbirth. My word is to them mere bitterness. He's trying to tell the truth, but he's viewed as bitter.
Whoa.
In my soul, pessimism. It's hard to give an upbeat account. Now, we've seen the optimism in Souls of Black Folk in 1903. Even given the darkness laid bare. But in 1920, now what is it about 1920? It's after World War I. Okay? What happened in World War I? Millions of precious Europeans killed. Europeans killing each other. Killing each other. What does Du Bois say in page 929? As we saw the dead dimly through rifts of battle smoke. You see at the bottom of 929, and heard faintly the cursings and accusations of blood brothers, we darker folks said, this is not Europe gone mad. This is not aberration nor insanity. This is Europe. Boy, reminds us in the 1940s. Oh my God, the sophisticated civilization of Germany that produced Beethoven and Schiller and Kant and all the great Nietzsche and the others. How could they treat our precious Jewish brothers and sisters the way they did? This is an aberration. No, maybe this is very much part of the heart of Europe. Ooh, that's a serious charge. Du Bois is saying this in 1920. Why? Because they've already had experiences of Africans being treated in such vicious ways. There's always been a long history. It's not just of enslavement, internment camps, mass killings, terrorizing, and so forth. This seeming terrible is the real soul of white culture, back of all culture, stripped and visible today. This is where the world has arrived, these dark and awful depths, and not the shining and ineffable heights of which it boasted. Here is whither the might and energy of modern humanity. This is where it has gone. It reminds you in some ways of the Frankfurt School critique of European modernity. Remember in class we talked about the age of Europe, right? 1492, 1945. Chapter on Jews, nationalism, beginning with the Spanish Empire, publication of the first grammar and vernacular language, and then the indigenous peoples encountered Christopher Columbus. 45, it's over. Oh, Du Bois in 1920, he already is prescient, which is to say he's already prophetic, that inside all of the claims of liberty and freedom and democracy and equality sits this barbarism of treatment, beginning with peoples of color, but now in World War I, the killing of other Europeans. But also in the United States, what happens between 1917 and 1919? In return of the black soldiers, a whole wave. We talked before of Josephine Baker, right? A whole wave of riots, which are attacks on black people. Hundreds and hundreds of black people are attacked and lynched. The Ku Klux Klan begins to organize, almost wins the mayorship of Detroit, wins the mayorship of many cities in Indiana. With the film of 1915, what's the name of that film?
Shoot him, bro, shoot him.
Birth of a Nation. Premiered where?
You can shoot him, bro.
In the White
I'm
House.
shooting him.
President.
I only have a fucking
Democratic president, sophisticated president,
assault
Princeton
rifle.
president,
I mean
governor of New
SMG.
Jersey.
Doesn't even reach that far.
Educated, exemplar of a certain kind of paideia. But what does Woodrow Wilson say at the end of that film, which is nothing but a glorification of the Ku Klux Klan? He says, this is history told by lightning. I support it wholeheartedly. This is the backdrop for Du Bois, the domestic one. It's also a time in which there's massive
She's gonna ram us.
rounding up of immigrants, scapegoating of immigrants, beginning with Germans, given the war, World War I. The massive incarceration of socialists and communists, the Palmer raids that take over socialist newspapers and shut them down. And the socialist congressmen like Victor Berger, socialist mayors in Oklahoma City are all pushed out. Why? Mass hysteria. You can hear echoes in its own way of our own time, you see. The scapegoating taking place, you see. And the boy says, this is a coincidence in terms of this human
I don't even know how he
hatred.
got down, man. I was shooting through the windows.
The
and they hit
hatred
me
is
once.
to be understood as human. He says it over and over again. I wrestle with the same issues. But he says, oh, but the dominant forms when it comes to institutional benefits is a white supremacist end and aim. And can you imagine what it was like to live in the
Wheezy.
19 teens after
Welcome to my channel.
claiming
Bitch.
that you're involved in a
Omer
war to
Ahmed.
make the world safe
Welcome to my
for
channel.
democracy.
Trash.
And yet the consolidating and the
Star-eyed
solidifying
trash.
of European
So garbage.
civilization,
Hey, thanks for
especially
Get
visiting,
shit on
man.
law.
Thanks for visiting the stream,
Empires.
guys.
Lower trash bum.
even as one or two
Get
empires
good.
went under. The
Rolling on the
Austro-Hungarian
floor laughing,
Empire,
rolling on the
Ottoman
floor laughing,
Empire,
rolling
here
on the
comes
floor
Turkey,
laughing,
here
rolling
comes
on the
seven
floor laughing,
nations.
rolling
Yes,
on the floor
indeed.
laughing, rolling on the floor 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 laughing.
And said, lo
Do
and
say or
behold,
streaming fam.
let me keep
Don't
track of this
asterisk.
Europe. Let's turn to page 930. He says, why then is Europe great? Because of the foundation with the mighty pastor
Oh, you guys
furniture
were
to
stream
build
sniping
upon
us?
the iron trade of
Oh,
ancient
okay,
black
that's why you guys
Africa.
were chasing
The
us.
Just
religion
gave
and
or
empire
stream a
building of
dislike
young
for how
Asia, the
bad
art
it
and
was.
science of the
Buddy, I have
the
like
Italians,
47 wins
the
out.
Mediterranean shore,
you
east,
know.
south, west, as well as north.
Hey,
And
good
where she
job
has
stream
built it
sniping me, though.
securely upon this great past and
first
learned
time-
from
oh,
it,
no, my first
she has
time,
gone
actually.
forward to greater and more splendid human triumph indeed. But where she has ignored this past and forgotten and sneered at it, she has shown the clever of poor, crucified humanity. She has played like other empires gone. The benchmark of empire is the refusal of elites in empire to be accountable to the victims of empire. Let me say that again. That the benchmark of empire is the refusal of elites in empire to be accountable to the victims of empire. The American empire has never been accountable in any substantive way to indigenous peoples, even given the very symbolic gestures. Modeled on the massive human suffering and cost, you see. They've made various efforts to be accountable to black people, descendants of slaves. But what happens?
Bitch.
White progress, white backlash. Black progress, white backlash. Black progress, black backlash. You see, swings back and forth, back and forth. Looks like there was a breakthrough in the 1860s. Multiracial democracy, almost unprecedented in human history. America's on the move. Boom, black codes, Jim Crow, lynching. Wait until 1960s. Here comes Martin Luther King Jr. with all of those Negroes loving white folk. What you gonna do, Brother Martin? Oh, we're gonna join with those other towering figures, the Dorothy Days and Rabbi Heschels and others. Oh, but they're gonna get in trouble in their own communities as they side. Unbelievable breakthrough. Here comes the 1980s.
I am Arts.
Backlash.
Welcome to my channel.
Backlash.
Bitch.
Strong.
I
backlash.
am
God
a
bless you,
stream
ladies and gentlemen.
snipe.
The boy
Yeah, I
said,
know you're a stream sniper, buddy.
I'm aware of this. Now, of course, he begins to play certain kinds of games with in the dialogue. He said, you claim that Europe is so great. Europe didn't produce Socrates or Jesus. Athens predates Europe. Don't try to subsume Athens under the European category. Europe didn't exist as a category at that time. No, he
Yeah,
was
we gotta
probably
be
white
fast
like
on
us.
stream
Really? You think Socrates thought he was white? There was no category of whiteness. Where does it come from? Very much a modern construct. He said Socrates' nose was flat like Curtis Mayfield. That's why they called him brilliant, wise, but he had these ugly aspects. Ooh, you could still see certain judgments because the ideal of Greek beauty was not Socrates. Wickerman tells us it was not Socrates. Did Europe produce Jesus? Hell no. Does Jesus look like most of the pictures that we see that resemble Michelangelo's uncle rather than the particular Jew from Palestine that he was? And of course, poor Hollywood will never have a Jewish-looking, swarthy complexion when they portray Jesus. Well, the box office would collapse. Collapse. And if Jesus looked like me or Barry White, even black folks, for the most part, would stay away. No, Barry White. No, not Jesus. No, they going too far now. I like his music. Can't get enough of your love. Okay, I understand that. But Jesus, no. No. But Europe does have Goethe. It does have Dante. We talked before. It does have.
Yeah, I need your money.
Maimonides.
Bro, I need
Tied
your
to
money.
Arab and European culture.
Armor box here.
It has Spinoza.
No, just armor.
It has Nietzsche, yes. But does it ascend to the highest heights? That's what Du Bois is wrestling with and playing a certain kind of game with this defender of white supremacy. And it's interesting, of course, to look at the curriculum of various universities these days to get a sense of how cosmopolitan and international their discourse is in terms of the quest for truth and goodness and beauty. Ooh, boy, we got a long way to go. A long way to go. Just the very fact that you all allowed me to talk about Du Bois. I was just in Shabazz house. And there's only 2 houses in the whole world, universities in the whole world that have houses named after Malcolm X. I was blessed to give a lecture at the University of Sheffield in Britain, which is the last place where Malcolm X spoke before he was shot down in Europe, before he was shot down in Harlem, in the Audubon Room, in February 1965. And they were saying, Brother West, it's so good to have you here. We want you to give a lecture on Malcolm X. We're revealing this magnificent statue of Malcolm X, and we're the only university in the world that has a house named after Malcolm. I said, no, Dartmouth. Dartmouth, what are you talking? Well, they call it Shabazz. It's not Malcolm X, but it's the same brother. Same brother. All you got to do is go there and look at it. You see his face. Unbelievable determination, dignity, trying to engage in that parrhesia that we talked about the first week. Fearless speech and unintimidated speech, that frank speech, that plain speech that comes from the soul, not just cerebral. It goes through the mind, through the intellect, but it's connected to a passion to making the world better. So,
Maybe hit this gas station right next to us.
I do understand the degree to which the truth must indeed be told. But what does he say about the challenge of trying to tell the truth? Oh, lo and behold, we turn to the white world. Turn to page, where are we here?
How many gas cans
Turn
do
to
you
page
have?
664. 664.
1.
The greatest and most immediate danger of white culture, perhaps less sense, is its fear of the truth. And the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak. The truth is always, as we see in Thucydides, truth is always has an iciness to it. And icy does what? It cuts against the grain. It doesn't satisfy any of us, no matter who we are. Just like the truth about yourselves. Let your friends really tell the truth about yourself. Let your spouse really tell the truth about yourself. It's gonna hurt. And if it doesn't hurt, they love you in such a way that they're lying. Now, I do believe love trumps lies, so I've lied myself. Now, my mother, I don't tell the full truth about Mom. I say, Mom, you're right. I know she's not fully right, but my love trumps the truth telling. But there's got to be a balance. But when it comes to white supremacy, male supremacy, or empire, homophobia, transphobia, is the country, the empire, are we willing to come to terms with the truth? The childish belief in the efficacy of lies as a method of human uplift. And he says what? Mendacity. Reminds me of that wonderful line of that white blues man called Tennessee Williams, born in Mississippi. Cat on a hot tin roof. That wonderful moment when Big Daddy speaks to the young brother in the car and he says, mendacity is the name of the system under which we live.
Hey, we're gonna get some gas cans here.
You see, Tennessee Williams was a vanilla blues man who told the truth. Mendacity, hypocrisy, hidden and concealed. The criminality, hidden and concealed. Crimes against humanity, hidden and concealed. We deliberately and continuously deceive not simply others but ourselves as
Welcome
to the
to my
truth
channel.
about them, the truth about
Bitch.
us, the truth about the
DR
world.
Cornel
We
West.
have raised propaganda
Okay,
to a
okay, I
capital
see you
P.
clapping hands, medium dark skin tone.
He's not writing this
The
in
fuck
the
are you
age of
talking
Trump.
about?
Our dear brother Donald Trump comes out of a long tradition. He's not there all by himself. Now, he may have pathological proclivities toward lying. We don't know. That's the question. The evidence doesn't look too inviting. But he's not alone. What he is engaged in is connected to elements inside of our own souls. Because all of us have proclivities toward lying. Maybe not as intense as Brother Donald Trump. We don't know, because I don't know you all, so I don't know your life now. I don't have any business. I'm not meddling. But I just assume most of y'all have worked things through a little bit better than Brother Donald, that's all. But that's not the point. 1920, raised propaganda to capital P and elaborated an art, almost a science, of how one may make the world believe in what is not true. White supremacy, a lie, but still alive. Male supremacy, a lie. Gentile supremacy against Jews and others, a lie, but very much alive. And so forth. The tax on trans, alive, but still very much alive. Provided the untruth is widely wished for, things like the probable extermination of Negroes,
Face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
The incapacity of India for self-rule. This is 1920. It would be 47 years
but I can
before
fly
India
away. That's the
achieved
thing.
its independence, and even then, full of challenges and ugly wars with Pakistan and so forth, the collapse of the Russian Empire. When in other days the world lied, it was a world that expected lies and consciously defended them. When the world lies today, it is to a world that pretends to love truth. In other words, according to you, white folk are about the meanest and lowest on earth. Now this is old Roger Dye man. They are human, even as you and I. Du Bois true to his humanistic understanding of paideia, but still willing to tell the truth in regard to these effects of lies. You see, why don't you leave them then? Go out, go to Africa, to the North Pole, shake the dust of their hospitality from off your feet. And that's quite fascinating, isn't it? You get folk who just arrived in the New World in the 1880s, and they turn to Negroes who've been there for 200 years and say, if you don't like it here, why don't you just leave? I say, hey, you just got here. What makes you think you are the definitive authority defining what it is to be American? We've been building this country for centuries. You just got here and you become the gatekeeper? What's going on here? Oh, arriving not knowing they were white, but then falling for the whiteness category owing to the benefits, the psychic benefits, the material benefits. We talked before about how did the Irish and the British become solidarity partners, given 800 years of ugly imperialism of Britain vis-a-vis the Irish. But oh, in America, they all white. They all white.
There's a kid right here.
Moving.
Is that the stream sniper, bro? Why would he just be out there? Bro, I think that's just. I think that's him, bro.
Ah!
Oh shit.
You left me.
Yeah. See you, man. Make a shot. Where is this kid shooting? Kid on this loadout we passed with.
Huh?
Kid on loadout we just passed. You need to turn down your game volume, bro. Yo, don't get out, man. Yo. Oh, we're getting shot, guys. Hell yeah. They just got obliterated, bro. Yeah. I guess driving out in the open is not the best idea. Oh man, there's kids on this one too. He's on loadout. 2 guys on loadout. He has a fucking rocket launcher. God, this fucking kid here too, man. many gas guns do you have?
3.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Oh my fucking god. I thought we were gonna die there for a second. I'm so surprised we did that, bro. Yeah, that was great.
Gas is moving.
Yo, there's one of the stream snipers right there. I see him.
I only have 1 rocket.
Safe zone now.
Ammo on me.
Dropping ammo here.
Oh my god, bro! I
What?
nailed that fucking vehicle.
Oh my god, bro. Let's get the fuck out of here. Where is he?
I mean, right here.
Yeah, I see him. Down.
Damn it, you stole my kill, you son of a bitch.
Gas. Bro, I don't care about kills. Just go for dubs. Don't be afraid to think something just because you think you're take it.
Oh no, I'm not like that. I'm always call you a son of a bitch, but, and how to play.
There's a car, 11 o'clock, left side, crossing the tracks right now. I fucking fell out, bro. You need to pick me up. Dude, what is this lag? Crazy stuff.
Moving.
Can you fly back in? Fly back in.
No, okay, you have to get lower. I just don't want someone shooting me in the air. I'm actually in. Of course I fall out.
Now is the ghost town.
I'm back in, I'm back in. No, just don't stop flying, bro. Where are all these live streamers at? Stream servers at? Two teams, 12 o'clock on the other side of the smoke, on the other side of the train tracks.
In here. Enemy dropping into the AO.
I'm on my last rocket.
Yeah, man.
Got gas moving in.
There's kids in these tents, bro. There's the guard tower.
Only 25 remain. Ammo here. Your team is in the safe zone.
Yo, focus on that MG right here. Do not let these kids shoot at us.
I hit him.
This kid's right behind us. Bro, the same MG guys, bro. The same MG guys. On the left side, you need to shoot them. Thug, if you see guys shooting at us, you need to prioritize those guys.
Okay, just ping him.
Right here, man. Same guys we were shooting before. One's in the open right now. Easy kill in the open. Ammo on me right
Team
here.
has entered the safe zone.
Oh,
Oh, I saw you disappear, bro.
yeah.
In the open, in the open. Hit. Hit again. He's on the wall. Hit. No armor. Down. One more there. Full kill. There was one more.
Nice.
No, that's it. That's it.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the sky.
This kid tried getting on the fucking helicopter. Later, bozo. Oh my god, he actually tried that.
He was pretty close to.
Yeah, well, I got the notifications, so that's why I just started doing
5 remaining.
it. Get away from him.
Losing ground.
As soon as he lands, I'm gonna fuck off. Of course he does.
Your team made it to the safe zone.
Someone else got him.
Trucks. Yeah, look at where that is. Right down one. Full kill. Gordon Ramsay, I killed Gordon Ramsay.
Missile locking.
It's good to hit. What's a P? Oh, it's 2v1, bro. 2v1. You need to kill him, bro. You need to kill him. I need to buy him.
Inbound. Marching to the safe zone.
You see him on your radar. I have no RPG.
I have a cluster strike. If you want to move
We
us.
have to move.
Yeah. Fuck did he go?
Probably right in the tree.
Oh, I fell. No.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Losing ground.
I think I'm just gonna play to the gas. I don't think he has ammo anymore, otherwise we would have kept shooting. So I have plenty of stims plus a gas mask. I think I can just outlive it.
Found him right here.
You're the last one on your squad. Finish the job.
Oh, jungle.
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Got gas moving in. Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
There he is.
Look how many fucking syntaxes I have, bro.
There's a stim pistol on my dead body.
Yo, he actually hit that? No way. This kid's insane.
Oh,
You
yeah,
didn't let me
bang.
parachute? What?
Standing. Next time, we take the win.
What? Yo, what? You're fucking joking me. It didn't let me parachute, bro. Wow. Okay, now we know that doesn't work. That's crazy, man. I guess you can't stim and parachute at the same time. Alright, well, that's it for me.